All right, let's get right into it. Today we're talking about a massive shift that isn't just changing how giant companies work, it's changing your career too. This goes way beyond just AI. We're looking at a whole new economic reality where the old rules for success have been completely torn up and thrown out. So, let's dive in.
So here's the deal. We are now officially living in an era called the Great Correction. That period of, crazy growth at any cost? Yeah, that's over. The rules of the game have changed, and the only way to survive now is through structural efficiency.
And hey, don't just take my word for it. The former CEO of AWS, Adam Selipsky, said it perfectly. This belt tightening you see everywhere, it's not just a passing phase. This is a permanent change. It's the new normal, so we'd better get used to it.
So what's really driving all this? Well, it's a concept called productivity overhang. Think about it like this. For years, companies have been hiring more people and buying more tech, but they've stopped getting the same bang for their buck. They've built up all this extra capacity, and now it's just become dead weight.
And that brings us to the single biggest takeaway of this new era. For decades, it was all about grow, grow, grow. Well, in the age of the Great Correction, that playbook is obsolete. The new rule, the only path forward, is this: efficiency is the new growth. So what does this actually look like on the ground? Let's break down the old way of doing business by comparing the idea of selling services versus delivering actual results.
A perfect case study for this is Amazon. For years, we had the Bezos expansion model. It was all about capturing the market no matter the cost. But now, we're in the Jassy efficiency model. Andy Jassy's mission is totally different. Slash the bureaucracy, shrink the structure, and be absolutely ruthless about efficiency.
And this is not just some abstract business theory. The numbers are real and they're huge. Amazon cut 16,000 jobs, Microsoft more than 15,000, and UPS a mind-boggling 30,000. The biggest players in the market are all sending the exact same message.
So this table really nails the difference. The old services model was always playing catch-up. You'd find out you were wasting money after the bill arrived. But this new results model, which is powered by AI FinOps, is all about being proactive. It stops the waste before it even happens. You shift from paying for a lot of people to paying for structural efficiency. It's not about giving advice, it's about directly improving the bottom line.
And if you get stuck in that old model, well, you fall into what the white paper calls a capacity drain. This is just a massive strategic blunder, pouring money into slow, human-heavy processes instead of AI and automation that actually get things done. Simply laying people off without fixing the underlying problem, well, that's just business theater.
Okay, enough with the theory. Let's see how this efficiency-first mindset actually plays out in the real world. Let's look at some examples out in the wild.
Our first example is pretty interesting because it's almost anti-tech. Ryanair. Their entire business is built with a laser focus on one single thing: cost. A consultant once said they treat passengers like self-loading cargo. No frills, no extras, just get from point A to point B for the lowest possible price. So does this brutal, relentless efficiency actually work? Oh, you have no idea. Ryanair's net profit margin is an absolutely staggering 15%. To put that in perspective, the average for the entire airline industry is just 4%. That's what happens when you make efficiency your main product. But this isn't just happening with budget airlines. Let's swing over to the heart of high tech, the smartphone industry. Because even the biggest tech companies on the planet are feeling an intense cost pressure that we can call the smartphone squeeze. So this mad dash to build AI data centers everywhere is causing a huge spike in demand for components. What does that mean? Well, the cost of a standard 12 GB DRAM chip, a critical part in any smartphone, has shot up by 70% in just 15 months. When your costs are moving that fast, a slow, reactive human approach is a guaranteed way to fail. So that brings us to the solution. If the old model is broken, what does the new corporate playbook look like? Well, it's built on a framework called AI FinOps. And this image, honestly, it captures the whole idea perfectly. AI FinOps acts like a lens. It takes the chaotic, tangled mess of services and costs and focuses it all into a single, clean, powerful beam of results. It's about bringing order to the chaos.
The whole framework runs on what you can think of as two engines. First, you have FinOps. That's the high-level strategy, making sure your money is invested where you'll get the biggest return.
Then you have CFM, Cloud Financial Management. That's the tactical day-to-day work of hunting down and eliminating waste in your tech stack.
A really core idea here is creating what's called cost DNA. It's part of the Shift Left mandate. What that means is you stop treating cost as something the finance team worries about later. Instead, cost becomes a basic design requirement, baked right into the product's architecture from day one.
And what this does is it completely changes the value of cost. In the old world, cloud costs were just an annoying add-on, a kind of waste. The Chinese term is tiantou. But in this new results-focused era, an optimized cost structure becomes your sweet spot, your competitive advantage, tiantou. You see, saving money isn't the goal. The savings become the engine that funds your next big innovation.
Okay, all of these big corporate changes have a huge impact on us as individuals. So what does this new world actually mean for your career?
For as long as we can remember, companies were built like a pyramid, right? You had a massive base of entry-level jobs at the bottom, and it got smaller as you went up. Well, AI is changing that shape into a diamond. It's automating all those routine tasks at the bottom, which shrinks the base and massively expands the skilled analytical middle of the company.
And the consequence of that is, well, it's profound. For anyone just starting out, that first rung of the career ladder, the entry-level jobs full of data entry and basic research drudgery, that rung is starting to disappear. It's just being automated away.
So this all leads to a final, pretty provocative question. As this great correction continues to shake up every single industry, you have to ask yourself, are you part of the problem, a capacity drain on your organization? Or are you part of the solution, a results engine that delivers real, tangible value? Because in the economy we're heading into, there's really no room for anything in between.